When I got drunk, I would wake up with a hangover. I started having suicidal thoughts, thoughts I'd never had before, and strange anxiety states started too. When I went out, I put a hood on, and when I passed cars or people on the street, I had the feeling I was being watched. It was unsubstantiated, of course, but I thought they wanted to kill me or beat me up. The suicidal thoughts became more frequent and affected my mood. I remember the first time I went to the toilet to hang myself. I put the rope around the radiator and tried if it fitted. I will never forget it. I was desperate enough to look for relief on the other side. Later, when I did hit rock bottom, I was at home drunk on Russian spirits when a friend brought me some hash.
Jeden z moich starych kumpli przyniósł gandzie i pamiętam, że jak ściągnąłem z tej lufki,
when I took a puff or two, I had a heart attack.
to dostałem ataku serca. Zacząłem tracić
I started losing consciousness. I was paralyzed, and I felt as if 5 tons of metal was pressing me into the wall.
I wtedy, kiedy czułem, że za chwilę
I felt I was dying, and for the second time in my life, I cried out to God, God, help me, I'm too young to die. I don't understand what happened then, but I know one thing. Although I was drunk, I got sober in an instant, and I told my friend, just so you know, I will not take drugs anymore.
Poszedłem na terapię do babeczki.
I started going to therapy, but the lady, the local psychologist, could not help me. Nevertheless, she suggested I should see a priest, so I went. He was the first person who prayed for me ever. He just put his hands on me and prayed a simple prayer from the bottom of his heart. I don't remember it because I felt as if I was about to lose consciousness, a strange spiritual experience.
Także było to bardzo dziwne doświadczenie takie duchowe, ale on też zachęcił mnie do czytania Biblii.
He encouraged me to read the Bible. So I went home, took a bottle of beer from the fridge, and opened the Bible for the first time in my life. I didn't get out that day. I just sat and read. And this gospel was like a fresh wind that came into my heart. And in that pitch blackness of mine, I suddenly saw a beacon of hope.
W tej sytuacji, gdzie czułem, że niedługo umrę, gdzie nie ma już wyjścia, nagle zaczęło we mnie rozpalać jakieś mało...
Maybe all is not lost. And deep down in my heart there came a thought. You know, lad, it's going to be all right. Just cling to me.
Wiesz co, chłopaku, będzie dobrze, ale trzymaj się mnie.
When I met Christ, something new started in my life. I understood one thing. If God gives me a new chance, I must not mess up.
Jeżeli teraz Bóg daje mi nową szansę do mojego życia, to nie mogę tego sknocić.
My first step, that astonished my friends, was to go back to school. I went to a secondary technical school for working people. Many of my teachers, who remembered me from the vocational school, were surprised and wondered whether I really intended to learn. I went back to school and started my spiritual walk with God. I prayed a lot and talked to God like a friend. I started to do things I'd never done before, like practicing sports. A friend of mine got me interested in kickboxing. Then I practiced boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Later I took to MMA until I had a back injury. Slowly things started to change. 2 years after I decided to be sober, a colleague of mine offered me a job in a small rehabilitation center for amphetamine addicts. I started as a volunteer.
I tak myślę,
I
też,
wanted to
że
support people who were
zacząłem
fighting
tak
addiction to
zupełnie,
alcohol, depression,
zupełnie
and
nieświadomie
suicidal
pomagać,
tendencies,
czy
who
wspierać
had
osoby,
similar unpleasant
które, tak
life
jak ja,
stories to
zmagały się z
mine.
alkoholem, z depresją, z myślami samobójczymi, które miały tak podobnie jak ja niezbyt ciekawe życiorysy. I to w pewnym momencie
Finally, this heartfelt
zwykła
urge,
chęć,
a fruit of my own
chęć serca,
experiences, turned into a
wynikająca z
vocation.
własnych osobistych doświadczeń.
I became a substance
Ta chęć
abuse
w końcu
counselor.
zamieniła się w pracę
I graduated
zawodową.
from university. I've got an MA in social rehabilitation.
Magisterskie, zostałem magistrem resocjalizacji. Moje życie dzisiaj ma sens i
Today, my life is
kiedy sobie pomyślę
meaningful.
o tym,
When I think how it could have gone if God had not entered,
jak mogłoby
I
się
can't
życie
imagine
potoczyć.
it. And I'm looking forward. I've got hopes for the future, and my appetite for life is growing.
No i zobaczymy, co będzie dalej. Więc z odwagą patrzę w przyszłość. No i po prostu mam coraz większą chęć na życie. Tak sobie myślę, że jedną z takich pierwszych rzeczy, którą
After
dzisiaj
many
dopiero
years,
tak
I understood
rozumiem, to,
one
że
thing.
nie ma znaczenia,
It doesn't matter where you were born.
nie ma znaczenia,
It doesn't matter if your parents
czy
loved
twoi
or
rodzice
hated
kochali,
you.
czy cię nienawidzili.
It's of no
Nie ma
consequence
znaczenia,
whether your father was
czy
good to
twój
you
ojciec był dobrym ojcem,
or whether
czy
he drank
chlał
booze
cię
and
lał.
battered you.
Nie ma znaczenia,
It doesn't
czy
matter
urodziłeś
if
się
you
w
were born in a
rodzinie,
family where everyone had a room of his own, or if 8 of you lived together in one room. We can't impact the circumstances of our birth. We're tossed into an aquarium like little fish, and we have to learn to swim. And it doesn't matter where we come from. The thing that matters is where we're heading and who we may become. I do believe that in spite of the circumstances of our birth and the families we come from, God hands us the paints and an easel. It's for us to decide what to paint. We can paint gloomy colors and blood. We can paint anger, pain and hatred. But we can also paint beautiful flowers, an ocean, the mountains, and other beautiful and inspiring things. So when God hands you an easel and the paints, watch carefully what you're painting.
Dobrze patrz, jak malujesz.